You knew it was going to be tough on the second night of a back-to-back, albeit Pittsburgh played last night as well, with the Leafs coming back from the long road trip to Sweden and whatnot. You knew a back-to-back on the road would have been wild. But the Leafs, unfortunately, dropped this one 3-2 to the Pittsburgh Penguins in regulation. And out of the back-to-back, you had one out of a possible 4 points. And let's be honest, since that Vancouver game, the Leafs have not looked very good. It's just flat out, right? Yeah, the Detroit game, sure, they came back, but they didn't really play great in that hockey game. You have the game against Minnesota where you blew a multi-goal lead, and sure, you won it in overtime. Great. Then you have the last game where you blow a 3-1 lead to the Blackhawks, which you should not blow a 3-1 lead to, and you lose in overtime. And then today, you have a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes of play, and then you can't score the rest of the way. Let's break this thing down, all right? First period, a really nice play from Morgan Rielly along the half boards, fires it along the ice. It was just off the ice. But it's tipped by John Tavares right on the net to Tristan Jarry. And he makes the save, but he's got to fight the deflection off. And Tyler Bertuzzi's there to bury the rebound. JT, Morgan Rielly with assists in the goal at 3:59 of the first period. The Leafs are on the board first. It's 1-0, just under 4 minutes in. Great start to the game. But where have we seen this before? 28 seconds after that, Jake Gensel scores and a horrific defensive error by the Toronto Maple Leafs. How Jake Gensel gets that wide open backdoor is beyond me. I don't know why Brody and I can't remember the defense partner out there with him are kind of just standing there as Gensel is standing there behind them. Maybe one's thinking about Crosby, but he's not even at the circle yet, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. They're all mesmerized by O'Connor. And instead of O'Connor ripping it, because Joe Woll's got to take the shooter, right? He's got to take the shot, so he comes out. But his two defensemen are just kind of standing there beside him, to his left and to his right, in front of him. Meanwhile, Jake Gensel's back door right on the post. And a slap pass from O'Connor right to the tape of Jake Gensel. He bobbled a little bit, but he was that wide open that he could have bobbled it and still finished easily. And we're tied at 28 seconds after you take the lead. It is comical how much this has happened. But less than 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes after that. Great play by Calle Jarnkrok, a low shot on net. Rebound to Matthew Nyes. He buries it past Tristan Jarry for his 6th goal of the season. That goal's at 7:48. And just like that, we are almost 8 minutes into this game. It is a 2-1 Leafs lead. A wild start to this game. Jarnkrok with the lone assist. And the Leafs are back out in front. I'm thinking, okay, let's give me a couple minutes with the lead. Well, they do that. And the shots on goal in the first period, listen to this. 18-15 in the first period. It was nuts. But then in the second period, Noel Acciari buries one. I mean, if any of you out there are sports bettors and you didn't slap a Noel Acciari goal down, you're psycho. You could have already written that script before the game even started. He scores unassisted. I can't even remember his goal. Was it an awful turnover? I don't know. A Noel Acciari goal shouldn't be all that beautiful. So I can't. Honestly, such a blur. But we're tied at this point. Oh, no, sorry. Acciari was at the side of the net. And he roofed it short side on Joe Woll. All right, that was the goal. Whatever. That goal's at 10:01 of the second period. And we're tied at 2. And then the backbreaker. The Leafs have 2 defensive zone faceoffs with like 35 seconds to go, 40 seconds to go. They lose the first one. The puck gets back to the point. Erik Karlsson fires it on, stopped by Joe Woll. They have another opportunity. They lose the faceoff. Puck comes back to the point. Erik Karlsson blasts it on, and it's in the back of the net. 28 seconds left in the second period, and you're now trailing 3-2. If you've ever played hockey, or, I don't say or basketball, well, I guess you could use basketball as well. When you have a late second shot, beat the goaltender, or in basketball, I don't know, like, let's say you're feeling good, you're on a nice little run, but then you end the quarter with like a 5-0 run against you, and then it's into single digits. You just don't feel comfortable. That goal right there seemed like a backbreaker for the Leafs, albeit they hadn't scored since the first period, and they didn't score in the second or third. They outshot them 15-3 in the third period, but who the hell cares? You're losing at that point. Can we stop playing from behind, and if you play in front, hold a damn lead? If it's not one, it's the other. Where you go down in a tough way, and then you all of a sudden forget how to score, or you have the lead, and then you forget how to hold the lead. It's wild. Erik Karlsson's goal at 1932, gave them the 3-2 lead after 2 period shots and goal in the second period, 14-6 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And you head into the third, and sure, the Leafs had some great opportunities. You look at late in the game, Matthews with a one-timer rips it. That's what I was going for. Right off the crossbar. I mean, puck luck stinks as well, doesn't it? You had that 3-post-1 last game against Chicago with Nylander in the breakaway in overtime. And with Matthews a chance to tie with like 5 or 6 to play, he rings one off the crossbar. And then with the empty cage, the Leafs get nothing going, and you lose 3-2 shots on goal, like I mentioned, 15-3 Leafs in the third period. They outshot the Penguins 36-35 for the game, but who cares? You lost the game. Special teams-wise, we were 0 for 3. Penguins were 0 for 3, and I thought the Leafs' first unit in the power play was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. The great opportunities they got in the power play. Don't sneeze, no sneeze. We're like in the dying 30 seconds of the power play when the second unit came over the boards. Because they were just figuring out ways to fire the puck on the net, cause havoc in front, and see if you can get a bounce. Whereas the first unit, especially in that third power play in the third period they had, everything pass around, behind the back, off the boards, cute stuff. They do that for a good 25, 30 seconds. Then one missed pass happens, and it goes all the way down into your own end, and you don't re-enter the zone. Then the second unit comes over the boards with like 30 seconds to play, and they get like 3 shots on net. And I'm like, so what's going on here? Are we looking to be perfect? Because there's so much talent on that top power play unit. But my God, that was painful. And yeah, like I said, you get opportunities late. Tristan Jarry makes some big saves. You get help from a crossbar. And the Leafs lose in regulation 3-2. Joe Woll, 3 goals and 35 shots. I didn't think he played bad, made a lot of the saves that he had to make, but the one thing, and you guys know I'm a big Joe Woll guy, but the one thing I've noticed with him that's a little scary to me is when there's traffic in front, he has a really tough time finding a way to fight around it, right? The Erik Karlsson goal beats him clean because he can't see it. The Noel Acciari goal beats him chopped cheese short side because he can't see it. That's definitely something to think about moving forward, but another tough game for the Toronto Maple Leafs defensively. And it's just, look, Connor Timmins didn't look good again tonight. I understand he's only had 2 games. He hasn't played since preseason. I understand that. But with how thin this D-core is, you need everyone to be great at basically every point of this game. And I didn't think that Timmins looked great whatsoever. There was a lot of turnovers, a lot of tough plays. Sure, I'll cut him a little bit of slack, but the Leafs just haven't quite found traction yet about playing really good hockey. All right, team stats, Nyes and Bertuzzi score the goals. John Tavares, Calle Yarncroc, Morgan Riley have the assists. So back-to-back games of no points for Nylander. Mitch Marner still, 20 points in 19 games. That's not Mitch Marner. And you look back at Austin Matthews, he now has 2 points in his last 6 games. 3 in his last 7. 1 goal in his last 7 games. Something to keep an eye on moving forward. Austin Matthews hasn't been great. Mitch Marner hasn't been great. Matthew Nyes has looked really good. Nylander with a couple games without a point now. Do you start to move things around? I don't know. Knowing Sheldon, he probably will. But we'll see what happens. All right. Next game for the Toronto Maple Leafs is finally back at home. For the first time since that Vancouver game, 3 Saturdays ago, it feels like. And Florida, they're on the second night of a back-to-back. All right, at Scotiabank Arena. I don't know who's going to get that start. I mean, Woll was okay tonight, but he didn't steal the net that you would have hoped for. Samsonov wasn't great against Chicago, but again, wasn't horrific. So I don't know. I'm guessing Samsonov's probably going to get the start against Florida. 7 o'clock on Tuesday, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and by the way, Kyle Dubas won his first game against the Leafs. Picture perfect for him. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below, so follow up there if you have not done so already. And I'll talk to you guys Raptors edition tomorrow night as they are in Cleveland taking on the Cavaliers, looking to win their third consecutive. Going to be a tough one, though. 7:30 tip-off there in Cleveland. And as for the Leafs, they're back in action like we talked about on Tuesdays. They host the Florida Panthers at Scotiabank Arena. 7 p.m. puck drop there. Finally back at home. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and not the result today. We'll talk to you guys then.